Pipe Dream was the 7th Broadway show that Rodgers and Hammerstein wrote. Part of the fun of Pipe Dream is to do a Rodgers and Hammerstein show, for Encores to have done a Rodgers and Hammerstein show that very few people know. Some of the songs that they wrote for Pipe Dream are really, really fascinating. I have a special fondness, for example, of Susie, the waif who wanders into town and ends up being employed by Fauna, who runs the local bordello. Her first song, her first character song, is a song called Everybody's Got a Home But Me. And it's a very interesting song. It's also, the music is quite fascinating, and I have to give Laura Osnes huge nods for the way she sings it, because it goes very low. And if you're casting a soprano as Susie, how do you deal with a melody that drops way down when the chorus begins? I think Laura does it absolutely beautifully. She was directed well. The whole thing is, first time I heard it, I thought this is so smart because she does it very conversationally.
I rode by a house with the windows lighted up, looking pretty as a Christmas tree. And I said to myself as I rode by myself, everybody's got a home but me.
The character of Doc is wonderful because he really is kind of like, an old-fashioned leading baritone, kind of the curly guy, but he gets himself befuddled with this relationship, which makes him interesting. And he has a song called The Man I Used to Be, and he can't quite figure out what's going on because he's feeling for this girl. She's not giving him much. It's a very much push-me-pull-you kind of relationship, which isn't what he's used to.
And I'll never find that easy living, easy taking, easy giving fella that I used to call me. You can never find the man you used to be.
The character of Doc's first song, there are all kinds of people. All kinds of people make up a world, and it's so Hammerstein in its feeling, and it's so, it's so honest because, that is what Hammerstein felt.
It takes all kinds of people to make up a world, all kinds of people and things. They crawl on the earth, they swim in the sea, and they fly through the sky on wings. All kinds of people and things. And brother, I'll tell you my hunch. Whether you like them or whether you don't, you're stuck with the whole damn bunch.
There's a song in Pipe Dream called Susie is a Good Thing. At some point I was in conversation with John Kander of Kander and Ebb, and he said to me that Susie is a Good Thing is one of his favorite songs from all musicals. It's between Susie, who's lacking confidence, and Fauna, who's the older, wiser woman who's trying to buck her up, but it's written in such an interesting way. I also think the word thing is such an interesting word because it can be so clunky, but to say Susie is a good thing, to me is somehow so appropriate to the characters and the situation here that it actually becomes almost poetic.
Susie is a good thing, this I know is true. Susie is a good thing. She may make mistakes as other people do. Everybody makes a few.
Every Rodgers and Hammerstein show, actually every musical of the 50s, had to have the big ballad. In Pipe Dream, the big ballad, which starts the overture, by the way, is called All at Once You Love Her. And it is, I think, as beautiful a ballad as they ever wrote. The opening lyric is a very 1950s lyric, which is, you start to light her cigarette. and all at once you love her. Very appropriate to the 50s, you know, cigarettes were sophistication. We don't think that way today, but that's okay. We're in Monterey in the 1950s, so we can say that.
You start to light her cigarette, and all at once you love her.
It has one of those Richard Rodgers melodies that once you hear, it sort of sticks in your mind. There are many moments in this recording that I am proud of, but also, you know, fascinated by and continue to listen to.